Now make your contribution to this motion. Senator Sifuna.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think by now, because you've presided over this House for over a year, you are aware of the character of most of us in this House. Mr. Speaker, in your communication about the President's address, you reminded this House of the requirement of the standing orders that in an address to the House, the head of state shall be heard in silence. Now, Mr. Speaker, knowing myself and knowing the President, Mr. Speaker, I chose not to attend the President's address to the National Assembly because I knew for a fact that at the first instance where I felt he was giving misleading information to the country, I would not be able to manage myself to keep quiet. I would have been strongly pushed to say something. And Mr. Speaker, I would have run afoul of the rules of this House. And although the Speaker of the Senate might be lenient because they know me, I was not very sure about the Speaker of the National Assembly, whether he would extend some of the courtesies that you have extended us in this House. Mr. Speaker, I suspected that if I went for that speech, I probably would be serving now an expulsion from the House for a minimum of 6 months. And I will go into the reasons why, Mr. Speaker, I did not trust the head of state to paint the true picture of the state of the nation. In my mind, Mr. Speaker, the state of the nation is the state of the people. Senator Mungatana has spoken very eloquently here about the state of the creditors of this country, that the creditors who gave us money during Eurobond are happy they are going to be receiving their payment. He should be asking himself, how many Kenyans are still able to service their own debts? That is the state of the nation that I would want to address. Mr. Speaker, so what I did, I joined a group of friends, and you will indulge me here, in playing a drinking game. Mr. Speaker, the rules of the game are very simple. Every single time you thought that a statement that was untrue, or even partially untrue, from the head of state, you had to take a shot of whiskey. Mr. Speaker, needless to say, by the end of the President's speech, we were extremely inebriated because of the half-truths and open lies that we believe the President told before the House of Parliament. And I will get into the specifics. Mr. Speaker, my expectation has always been that during a State of the Nation address, because the Constitution requires it.
What is your point of order, Senator Mungatana?
I know the Honorable Sifuna could be very passionate, but is the use of the word open lies, referring to the speech by His Excellency the President, parliamentary? And if not, can he withdraw and restrict to parliamentary language, Mr. Speaker?
Senator Sifuna, I think the use, you can still express yourself without necessarily using such words that may not be parliamentary.
Mr. Speaker.
And I know exactly, you understand exactly what I'm saying.
Mr. Speaker, replace every time I've used the word open lies with untruths or misleading or what other synonym is there? Yeah, I think not, I do not mean
not factual.
Or non-factual, yes, Mr. Speaker, and I will demonstrate point by point what I thought was not factual or was misleading. Mr. Speaker, my expectation with these speeches, ever since I became acquainted with the Constitution, is that you must address yourself to the steps taken, very specific, steps taken and progress achieved in realizing the values under Article 10. And I was specifically looking out for the address to address 3 values set out under Article 10. The first one, Mr. Speaker, is national unity and inclusiveness, which I will take together. Mr. Speaker, we live in an era where we are being told every single day that in fact, if you did not vote for this government, you have no shares in this government and that you should expect nothing at all. What I expected the head of state to do is to tell us that ever since those pronouncements have been made, I have taken certain steps to rein in members of my administration who might not understand what Article 10 speaks about when it speaks of inclusivity and national unity, and that we give an undertaking, or he gives an undertaking, that we will not hear about that issue of shareholding anymore. Mr. Speaker, the first untruth that I want to invite this House to agree with me that I encountered is in paragraph 9 of the President's speech, where he acknowledges that it is the duty of all of us as leaders to listen keenly and comply with the people's wishes. Now, that is where I took my first shot, Mr. Speaker, because I know for a fact that Kenyans have spoken over many, many policies that this administration has put in place, including the taxation measures that have been imposed through the Finance Bill of 2023, but this government has chosen to ignore the people's pleas and, in fact, to do the exact opposite of what the people have been asking it to do. Mr. Speaker, the other value that I wanted him to speak to is the question of the steps taken by his government and the progress that has been achieved in strengthening democracy. Now, here I went for a double shot, Mr. Speaker, and I will explain why. The first reason, Mr. Speaker, and Honorable Khalwale has spoken very eloquently about what their generation did in order for them to achieve the freedoms that we enjoy during this time, Mr. Speaker, including the freedom of speech, and I suspect, Khalwale, even the freedom of demonstration and the right to picket. I saw myself, leaders of the church, being bludgeoned here. As a child, I saw those pictures of Reverend Joya in the streets here, being bludgeoned by police officers just because he was exercising his right to protest. This same regime, this same government, Mr. Speaker, is doing the very same things. In fact, this year alone, it has bludgeoned more people than Moi bludgeoned during the time for multi-party democracy. As a leader of the opposition, I know that I have a right under Article 35, a right that Boni and his generation fought very strongly for me to be able to express my disaffection with the policy of government by protesting, by picketing. Now, I don't know how I can define picketing for my brother, Honorable Khalwale, but picketing includes putting a sufuria on your head. That sufuria on my head is not the solution I'm proffering, because I had proffered a solution that at the moment, because Kenyans are going through a difficult time, Mr. Speaker, please retain the subsidies. Please do not increase the taxation on fuel. Those are the proposals that came from my mouth, Mr. Speaker. So that when you see me putting a sufuria on my head, that is not the solution. That is me picketing and drawing your attention to the solutions I'm proffering. But you have refused to listen to the people of Kenya. And yet the president would come and stand before the hallowed House of Parliament and say that he acknowledges that as a leader, he has a responsibility to listen to the people of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, contrary to what many people believe, I actually admire Senator Khalwale, because I have studied his history. You are some of the people who have inspired some of us to come to this house. We know your skills as a debater. But Mr. Khalwale, Senator Khalwale, sometimes I understand your position as a whip in this house of the majority. You are handicapped. Some things you don't want to say openly here on the floor or even in public gatherings. Senator Khalwale, those confessions you've made here, that in fact in your stellar career as a politician, you have never been as unpopular as you are right now. And it is not because of your undoing. I honestly believe Khalwale has not changed. The only thing that has changed, Senator Khalwale, is that you are defending the indefensible. The people of Malinya, I can confirm, they still love their senator. But they don't agree with the policies of the government that you support. And I wish, Mr. Speaker, the same admissions that have been made by Senator Khalwale on this floor would come from the mouth of the president. That he acknowledges that, in fact, some of the policies that he has put in place have made his government unpopular because they do not resonate with what Kenyans want to do. Mr. Speaker, let me now come to what I consider untruths, misleading statements about the state of the nation. Mr. Speaker, the president spoke about many things, and these matters have been fact-checked by many people, including reputable media houses here, on if indeed what he was saying is true. Let me start by the easiest, because, Mr. Speaker, outside there, I'm known as the permanent representative of the people of Kenya on matters of unga. And it is because, as a lawyer, I think I am an authority on food. Mr. Speaker, The president said in his own speech that a packet of flour, maize meal, is now retailing between 145 and 175. And he added a very clever rider, depending on the brand, down from 250.
Senator Sifuna.
Speaker, let me first begin by saying this thing called broad-based, I don't know where it exists. Personally, I don't recognize any entity called called broad-based. There is a government of Kenya Kwanza under the leadership of President William Ruto. Every cabinet secretary who serves in that government serves the Kenya Kwanza government. And I want to join what Senator Khalwale has said. Some of these individuals who joined government recently think they are there to represent their ethnic communities. That every time a cabinet secretary stands up, he tells you how much the Ministry of Energy has allocated to power projects in Nyanza. So the rest of us lawyers are sitting there wondering, Allah, so who is going to speak about the projects in Bungoma? Who is going to speak about the projects? Honorable Speaker, I have said on this floor that as a Senate, as a Parliament, it is the responsibility of all of us, irrespective of our political parties, to oversight the national governments and the county governments. Honorable Speaker, if there is a problem with a CS, that CS must account to Parliament as an institution, not even to their political parties or this thing, monster they are calling broad-based. It doesn't exist in my view. So, Honorable Speaker, yesterday I saw at night, just before the game between Inter Milan and Barcelona began, I saw the CS of Treasury on Citizen TV. He has time to appear before Citizen TV, but he has no time to appear before this House. I refused to watch that interview and switch to the football match because I was expecting him here. The conversations that are important to me from that CS are the ones that happen here. Speaker, we have said, when I used to be in the SBC, that the CSs must write in good time to tell the House that they will not be showing up. If a CS insists on writing on the day before, that is absolute contempt, and they must be called out. Honorable Khalwale, trust me, for as long as I remain the Senator of Nairobi, for as long as I remain a Senator in this House, and the oath that I took there on the first day that I came to this House, there is not going to be a minister that we are going to, protect or babysit or cover up. It doesn't matter whether they come from ODM or from wherever. They are there to serve the public, and we will call them out, Honorable Speaker, as we have always done. So, Honorable John Mbadi, I will call him by his name, must know that as a House we are unhappy that he has time to attend rallies where he explains how much money Luos are going to get from this government, and he has time to go to Citizen TV to tell us lies about economic growth. When you read the newspapers today, data from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, Honorable Speaker, is saying that the economy has done the worst since COVID, that we have lost jobs, that salaries and wages have shrunk because of the taxation that has been imposed by this government. Then you go on Citizen pontificating there about the work that you are doing. Honorable Speaker, we will call out these cabinet secretaries without fear. Mimi siogopi mutu. We will say these things publicly because that is what we swore to do. Honorable Speaker, that CS, in fact, you need to confirm to this House if since he was sworn in as CS, he has ever appeared here. I have never seen him here. I have never seen him here. Where? Yeah. So, Honorable Speaker, this is an issue that we as a leadership in the Senate have to call out, and we have to insist that we have to do our oversight as senators, regardless of whatever monster people think exists in this country called broad-based. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. You know, Honorable Speaker, I have heard the majority leader speak, and I've heard Senator Cherargei speak without any interruption. I want to call on your protection early on because of the things that I want to say. I would prefer that I be heard in silence, Honorable Speaker. Number one, I want to tell the Senator for Nandi that there is nothing like government property. Everything that the government owns is owned by the taxpayer. It's our money. It is ours to do with as we please. So nobody will lecture us about how to misuse our property. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, when we talk about taxpayer money, it is not just the money that goes to the county governments that is taxpayer money. Even the national government money is taxpayer money. It broke my heart, Honorable Speaker, just a few days to see a whole doctor posting on Twitter that after all the noise they made out here, Honorable Speaker, when they were coming here, when they were on strike saying the Senate should do something because health is devolved, after all the push we gave as a house to the medical doctors to push the National Assembly to allocate money to them in the current budget, a whole doctor goes on Twitter and says, "Thank you, President Ruto, for giving us money." That's not his money. That is public money. Honorable Speaker, that is public money. Number two, Honorable Speaker, as a taxpayer in this country, there are very few things that make me happy, because we have serious problems with the way that this government utilizes our property. Honorable Speaker, the only time when you drive around this country and you see a road sign that says road maintenance levy, your taxes have been used to improve this road, that's the only time that I feel proud to be a taxpayer in this country. But all these other times, when you talk about people putting their photos everywhere, I have seen governors, whenever there is a tax waiver, his photo is bigger than the message that is in the newspaper. I have seen governors buying billboards. The face occupies 3/4 of the billboard. The message is so small, the rest of the billboard is his face. Honorable Speaker, even this week, I have seen a governor who is my friend, and I have to say this because I want him to succeed. He has bought time on Citizen TV, prime time. I was watching the news at night, and I see a governor advertising a project that is funded by the county government, and he's saying that this project has been funded by so and so. I was very shocked. Where do you get the money, Honorable Speaker? I don't want to be informed.
Sifuna, do you want to be
I don't want to be informed. I'm in the middle of teaching. I'm in the middle of a lecture. Honorable Speaker, so I was very shocked. You all have TVs, you can pay subscription, you will see the governor. So, Honorable Speaker, I ask that you protect me. When I began this submission, Honorable Speaker, I asked that you protect me because I knew this would happen. Honorable Speaker, we have seen images of governors.
What is your point of order, Senator Chelge? Under which standing order are you raising the point?
Mr. Speaker, I stand under standing order 101 on contents of speech. When Senator Sifuna says he's teaching us, is it part of the rules of debate, Mr. Speaker? Are there children that he's teaching here? All of us are distinguished senators, and that governor, by the way, Mr. Speaker, is Governor George Natembea. That is why he's fearing to say.
Maybe he's teaching citizens of Kenya.
In fact, Honorable Speaker, if you look upstairs, you will see there are children there. Yeah, so allow me to teach. And when I'm standing here, I am not just speaking to this house, Honorable Speaker, I'm speaking to the country. So, Honorable Speaker, I have seen images of governors on something as mundane as milk packets for school milk, even on meals, Honorable Speaker. So that you want to tell us that this is Sifuna is doing. I have seen my colleagues in the National Assembly, Honorable Speaker, every single national government CDF funded project, they have to find a way to put their names on it. Even after the courts ruled that this thing is unconstitutional, they changed now, they say, oh, this is financial year 2022-2023, patron. Then they write Edwin Sifuna, patron. Honorable Speaker, this Mr. Musundi has identified a proper problem in this country. And we want to be able to say that every single coin that is utilized by national and county governments is actually our money. That's our property. Honorable Speaker, I've seen these patrons disbursing bursary checks, and they want to greet the parent and look them in the eye and ask them, who is the person who gave you this check? Then they say it is Sifuna. Then they say, remember me in 2027. Mr. Speaker, you would think that that money is their money. And one of the things I don't understand, these members of the National Assembly make the dishing out of checks to appear like something that is so appointed. Like a clerical job, who cannot dish out, who cannot, if your office wrote checks, how difficult is it to distribute checks? It's a physical transaction. So they come and make noise here and tell us all about how children will not go to school. Honorable Speaker, and that check has 2,500 shillings on it. There are people here who are educating children and they don't even announce it. Honorable Speaker, they should come to our offices so that we tell them all those children that I have paid school fees for. Even if you see a single one of them with a picture of Sifuna, you should ask me. They go there and they say, this is the so-and-so who did it for me. But you don't see me presenting checks here in Nairobi saying, oh, Sifuna is issuing bursaries today. That is not your money. Can you show us photos of you issuing your own money so that you leave this public money aside, Honorable Speaker? Then, Honorable Speaker, the majority leader even wanted us to extend this thing to Plex. There was a young man who was going around this country called Morara, auditing national projects. The country is led by Plex, written, oh, this project was commissioned by William Ruto on this particular day, on this particular day. Those are the other Plex that we need to go for, because that is not Ruto's money. He should also remove his name on those Plex. Honorable Speaker, it is the truth. The majority leader told us we need to extend it to Plex. I can show you those Plex.
Senator Sifuna, there is a point of order again from Senator Chalge.
Mr. Speaker, I rise again understanding 101 on contents of speech, Mr. Speaker. This obsession by Senator Sifuna or President William Ruto must stop. If he wants to discuss the president, he should bring a substantive motion. Then we can handle at that point. He should stop this obsession, Mr. Speaker. Please, protect, because the president is not here to defend himself. Because when you are making such assertion against anyone, they have a right to be here to defend themselves. But since he's not here, he should just stop dragging. You know, majority leader can defend himself because he's here, Mr. Speaker. Can the Honorable Senator withdraw and apologize or substantiate, Mr. Speaker? Because when he says there are plaques that are littered with the name of President William Ruto in the country, that is not a statement of fact and standing order 105.
Senator Chalage, just a minute ago you are requesting to be given the names of the governors. Correct. You have the plaques. No. Also you mentioned the name of a certain governor. Correct.
Sit down,
Mr. Speaker, can I finish?
Speaker,
can I finish? Mr. Speaker, can I finish?
Too long.
Can I finish?
Listen, Senator Chalage, since too long cannot make a right. Also, Senator Sifuna, there was a communication from the chair about that standing order to avoid mentioning names of state officers who are not in this house. Maybe unless you bring a substantive motion.
Honorable Speaker,
Can I finish?
No,
can I finish?
Sit down, Bwana.
Sit
You
down.
are not the speaker.
All the
Sit down.
senators.
You are not the speaker. Mr. Speaker, why is Senator Sifuna ordering me?
Resume your seat.
You are the speaker.
Resume the seat.
Resume your seat, Senator Sifuna. Let me finish what I was saying. I'm saying as much as possible, you know, those plaques, those billboards and everything, whatever it is, avoid mentioning names of whatever billboard you saw, so that now we can make progress, Senator Chalge.
Honorable Speaker, can I proceed, please?
Yes, but
Honorable Speaker, we are not discussing
officers.
personalities. We are discussing our money. The Senator for Narok, Honorable Speaker, came from a time when he was hosting the president in his county. So he came back and told us, oh, we have been given an airport in Narok. The contractors are there day and night. So one time I had been given a lift by a friend of mine. We were coming from somewhere in Western. I said, I want to see this airstrip in Narok that has a contractor day and night. So I asked the pilot to fly over that space. Honorable Speaker, there is a plaque sitting there. There are no contractors there. That young man called Morara has gone around the whole country, has shown us. Even when you go to the so-called stadium in Wote, if you go to Camarine Stadium, you will find those plaques there. Honorable Speaker, we cannot have these gatekeepers of the executive in the legislature. You do your job, let him do his job. So, Honorable Speaker, when he was going, Honorable Speaker, can you protect me from this head club?
Senator Chalage, order, kindly.
No. Honorable Speaker, do you know?
Of order are not making sense now.
Honorable Speaker, there is.
Senator Chalage, can you allow?
You know, when you are used to using matatus, have you ever been in a chopper? You can see.
No.
Honorable Speaker, protect me from
Senator
this.
Chalage. Senator Chalage, I'm giving you the first warning this afternoon. I'm giving you the first warning. No point of order.
Honorable Speaker, please.
Let Senator Sifuna be in silence.
Thank you.
To conclude his...
Honorable Speaker, so the point that I was making The point that I was making, Honorable Speaker, is that those plaques with names of either projects that have been started or concluded should bear the same sign that I told you about, the Road Maintenance Levy Fund. It should say, your taxes have built this stadium in Wote. Your taxes have built this stadium in Kamarin, which doesn't exist, by the way. Honorable Speaker, let me conclude by commenting on something he said. And I was very quiet when he spoke, so I hope he will be quiet too. Honorable Speaker, as a responsible government, you cannot tell us to wait for you to face you in 2027, and you are killing us today. Albert Ojwang is in the ground. He will not be able to meet William Ruto in 2027. So if we stopped, all of us, if all of us agreed, all of us should agree,
Senator
all of us
Sifuna,
should agree.
Senator
Honorable
Sifuna,
Speaker, please don't stop me.
You are now contravening standing under 121.
Now the Speaker himself is interrupting me.
Standing under 121. I gave a ruling, I gave you guidance. I gave you guidance. You know you cannot do elections in the Senate. We don't do elections in the Senate. So avoid mentioning names of state officers. I warned you. I cautioned you. That is the first caution again, understanding on the 121.
Very well, Honorable Speaker.
And you know the consequences.
Very well, Honorable Speaker. Very well, Honorable Speaker. What I'm saying is this. All of us must agree that if decisions are being made democratically at an election, can we guarantee that all of us get to that election? Because you can't tell me to wait for you at the ballot and then you make sure I don't get there. Is Albert Ojwang supposed to vote from the grave? There's no such polling station. So when you talk about a state officer standing up and saying you can shoot people, as if people don't die from gunshot wounds. Honorable Speaker, we saw Rex Masai, the young man who was killed during the protest, was shot in the leg. So how can you tell people to shoot people in the leg as if those injuries are sustainable injuries? So, Honorable Speaker, we want to make it very clear that as a country, we have totally lost our way. And we will not have a conversation with someone telling us to wait for 2027 when he's not giving us a chance to get to 2027. He has become an existential threat for this country, and he must go as soon as possible. I thank you.
Senator Wakiri Hilali.
Thank you.
So Sifuna, how do you uphold the separation of powers?
The public can see why I cannot take advice from Farah Maalim. Yeah. When he tells me to go slow, my wings will fall off. They are my wings. Let them fall off if they will. But I will move at the speed that I'm moving with. Because I want to tell you, Farah, it is possible for a president to govern in accordance with the law. You are saying things that do not even exist. And I want to advise you to leave the law to the lawyers. Because
can I just remind you one thing? Can I just remind you something?
Let me
just
finish.
write it down, Farah.
I have said I have refused all your advice. Because I can see you are speaking from a position of severe ignorance. There is no law in Kenya against being gay. That law does not exist. You've just created it here. The criminal or the penal code puts a penalty on having sexual conduct that is against the order of nature, including between a man and a woman. There is a law in this country called statutory rape. You people, where you come from, call it early marriage of children. You will not speak about those things, Farah, because you know you are picking the ones that you think are convenient for you to push your arguments. When somebody takes this constitution and swears upon it, he should know what he is swearing upon, Trevor. If you read this document at Article 2, it tells you what forms the law of this country. It includes customary law, but that customary law must be in accordance with this constitution. It includes the general rules of international law that shall form part of the law of Kenya. Judges develop the law, my brother. They develop the law. When there's those gaps in the law, they will tell you, like the Supreme Court,
so
when they identified, let me just say, when the Supreme Court identified gaps in the presidential case regarding whether a majority of commissioners should agree or whether all the commissioners should participate in announcement of the presidential results, they threw that ball back to Parliament. But when Parliament goes to make those laws, Parliament itself as an institution is subject to the Constitution. The Constitution requires that the people, participation of the people was elevated from the Kanu Constitution, which I'm sure is still stuck somewhere in your head. It elevated the people's participation in lawmaking to a level where if you do not have effective public participation, that law will be struck out. That is not judicial overreach. Now, all of these things, Trevor, my brother Mungatana was trying to paint a picture of us in the opposition as people who don't participate in debates, and is trying to conflate my decision to reject or to not to sit there and listen to Ruto's lies during the presidential debate. And do you know what?
No.
Even during that presidential debate, nobody is allowed to speak.
I think
just let me finish.
Let me finish. Parliamentary.
Let me finish.
Let's be parliamentary.
We are not in parliament. How can we be parliamentary? We are on TV. We are not in parliament. King is not here to protect you. We have to speak the way we speak. This is not parliament.
No, you can't.
I can say. Who says I cannot say? This is not your show. It is his show. Let him be the one to tell me what I can say and what I cannot say. Let me finish.
No, let me address
and then you'll address me. Let me finish first.
But you cannot call people
let me finish first.
How can you say this is a lie?
It is the English language.
No.
If something is not true, it's called a lie.
In my
this is not parliament.
In my custom, you don't talk to elders or people.
Pokomo custom. We are not here under Pokomo customary law. We are not here under Pokomo customary law.
Talk with respect. Talk with respect.
What I want to say here.
This is not a public rally of ODM. You can't come here and start calling the president lies.
If you want us to operate,
the
president is not a Pokomo. The president is not a Pokomo. He's not an elder.
He's
not an elder.
Okay, Mungatana, hold on.
No, Sifuna, he should respect people.
Agree.
You can't come and say the president is telling lies.
It is lies.
If people are older than you, if people are older than you, please address them with decorum. This is not a public rally.
Agreed. Decorum. Yes.
Let me tell you, Trevor, you did not call us here under Pokomo customary law.
Correct.
So let him take Pokomo customary law back to Garsen. I was not going to sit and listen to Ruto's lies as an elected official, so I chose to stay away from that debate. But
I'm saying,
the point that I am making,
you need
in
to
terms of
deliberately correct the way we use our language here. We are before the public.
Yes, you will answer that. Yes, go ahead.
The president is a liar. I can say it 100 times, and I can demonstrate it to you. And I did it before Parliament, and explained the points that were not factual. Unanswered.
Not factual is not the same as lies.
Not factual is lies.
It is not.
Hold on. Let the younger gentleman hold on. Let's listen.
No, let me finish. I had not finished. I'm being heckled. I had not finished. I had not finished. And this is the tactic they want to use for me not to make my point. Let me finish. Let me finish. I will finish. If you don't want me to come to this show, you can tell me. You can have these Pokomo elders come and praise the president all they want. But when I am here, I will speak, because it is not Mungatana that invited me here. It is you. Now, when it comes to the question of public participation, he said that, he didn't see Sifuna appearing at public participation. I'm not a member of the public. The public participation is for people to speak openly about programs that are being run by people in the legislature and people in the executive. Yes. So that by the time it comes, my turn will come. My turn will come when the bill comes to the House for me to debate. I don't want to go into a public participation, hog all the limelight as an elected member, have my views precede the views of other people, ordinary people. This is a forum that has been created for ordinary people. That is why, Trevor, when the question of BBI went before the courts, do you remember the court saying that the president is not a person who can initiate a constitutional amendment because of his position in society? So these people who go to public participations, you are an elected senator, you are an elected member of parliament, you go there with people in buses, you have brought your own people to pay them and to try and shape the opinions of the people. Allow the public to speak freely about the programs that we are initiating, both as a legislator and the executive. Finally, I want to say this, Trevor. Mimi siogopi. If my wings will be clipped today, let them be clipped. But I'm asking myself this question. If it is true that the people of Kenya have rejected this housing levy, the courts have found fault with this housing levy, you have a person in the executive saying he will disobey court orders, he has already disobeyed the will of the people, saying they will proceed with this thing anyway. What is in it for him? I will not be surprised, Trevor. If you go and do a deep dive into this particular project, you will find the suppliers of this material for construction is his friends, if not himself. He will find he's the one bringing cement, you will find he's the one bringing the construction steel, and some of these people, they are just talking here. When the truth about this housing project comes out, all of these people will be put to shame. So let us not be gagged. Let us speak freely, because that is what the Constitution guarantees us. You will not be threatened.
Can I say something? First of all, Trevor, we are before the public. We are not in a public rally here. it is proper for us to respectfully address each other and respectfully address those who are not seated with us here. Have the courtesy of he is the president of the Republic of Kenya. I don't stand and say Raila is a liar. Raila is doing.
But you can say that.
It's not
that
right.
is the Constitution guarantees freedom of speech.
Right.
And the limitations are there.
This kind of
if Raila tells a lie, you can say this is a lie.
Right. That's not right. It's not right. And this reflects the generational issues in this leadership. You know, there are people who have no restraint whatsoever. No restraint whatsoever. They talk like they are in their bedrooms or their streets. It is wrong. When we are talking to your elders, you talk with respect.
You elders, what have you done for this country? You have made this country for the other generations. You are not people to speak.
And I want to say this.
We have had a lot of reports, even in the media, of women being sexually harassed. And right now, to the public, what they see is a young, assertive woman who rose and defended against sexual harassment. A lot of times, we might see different things in the house, but what does the public see? What does the public see? And a lot of times, when assertive women come out and defend their position on these issues, their heads are pressed down. The thing this house should be discussing is how to prevent sexual harassment. And a lot of times when the victim has been harassed, you are not in a position to get evidence. Things flow and you don't have evidence.
A minute, Senator Azena, what is your point of order? And
Again,
let us also not continue just raising point of orders.
No, Mr. Speaker. I am not in the habit of raising frivolous points of order. Understanding Order 120, again to remind this House, that the report before us is a report of the Powers and Privileges Committee. In this particular case, nobody has accused Gloria of being an assertive woman. Nobody has accused her of lack of proper expression. We are not saying she cannot express herself. She's one of the most eloquent senators in this House. The report of the House is very simple. She made allegations. She needed to substantiate. She failed to substantiate. There are consequences of dragging people's names through the mud, and then you don't say it. You don't come here to lecture us about, sexual this, sexual that. Show us the evidence. Show us the evidence. Nobody is interested in sexual advances here.
Senator Sifuna. Senator Sifuna, you know you cannot put exact ones that any senator should use in this House. As long as she is contributing on this particular matter. She is contributing on this particular matter. If I reason she is defending women and the young leaders, young women leaders. So to me, she is not out of order. Senator Azena, proceed and conclude your minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is exactly what happens when young women are assertive in this country. And it is time, Mr. Speaker, some people, I am.
Honourable members, Senator Zena
I am,
will be heard in silence.
and I have the right to be heard. Because, Mr. Speaker, protect me, Mr. Speaker.
Time to get to the floor.
Protect me, Mr. Speaker, from people exhibiting chauvinism, male chauvinism.
Senator Zena, stop addressing members. Just proceed and conclude your contribution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Senator Sifuna does not utilize my eyes. I do not use your eyes to read the report, nor do you live with me. There is no way you will know if I read the report or not. So stick to your lane.
Senator Zena, stop addressing members directly. Address the chair, kindly.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I continue, like I reiterated, that what we need to discuss in this House is how to protect people, and young women especially, from sexual harassment. Why? Because a lot of times when these allegations are made, or we have cases like this, a lot of times it's thrown under the bus because there is no evidence. And in a lot of instances, when this is happening, you do not even have time to get evidence. So, Mr. Speaker, we need to be very fair in how we approach these issues and know that this house is a house for all of us, and everybody deserves respect. I do not agree with the insults leveled against our fellow colleagues, but at the same time, you do not see every problem. When you have a hammer, you see every problem as a nail. We must not use hammers to correct or guns to deal with very small problems. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
I was born in Nairobi in a government house, so I know what it feels and the kind of attachment you have in these houses that are either government or council houses. Chair, I want to assure the residents of Nairobi that what we're doing is truly for their best interest. We'll walk along with them and we'll walk along with the committee, and it's very exciting for us. We cannot have an ulterior intention or motive.
Thank you.
I was about to quote a Bible verse, but it's okay. I don't think it goes with the standing orders.
But, whatever he says, even if he has contempt for us as senators and the people, maybe he will have some respect for God and tell the truth.
Okay, thank you very much for your submission, Senator. I believe that moving forward...
Yeah, the standing orders are very clear. These are House of Rules. You do not impute improper motive, just as the Senator has done. Saying there's a... No, just read your standing orders.
I suggest you don't throw words at each other.
Governor, you will not teach me the law. Let's bring the standing orders.
I've been here for 5 years.
Let's read the standing orders together. This is not something that we need to pass by. Let us see references to government.
And at the point that you want to discuss the character or behavior of any witness, including a governor, you bring a substantive motion.
Where?
You can't say that we're being contemptuous.
I think we are not here, Senator Sifuna, we are not here to be taught about our standing orders.
Correct.
We are here to get to know the plight of the people of Nairobi. If we can stick ourselves to that, just that one issue, we are going to move forward in a way that everybody expects us to move forward. Otherwise, I won't entertain any kind of, throwing words at each other at this specific committee where the lives of the people of Nairobi are affected. So, is it on the same issue?
Yes, on the same issue, Chair. One or two issues. First of all, Senator Wambua, I was never bragging in the House that I was the best chair. I was rated the best by Mzalendo and other organizations. And I take parliamentary work very seriously. And so I just happen not to have been around in those circumstances. As the Senator of Nairobi has said, these leaders are known to me. Some we speak to. I respect their time. I don't choose which committee to come to or which one not to come to, and I must correct what the Senator of Nairobi is saying, that we come here on our own interest. Money for counties is not our own interest. It is for the people that we represent. In fact, the work of the Senate is to ensure we are well-resourced. And not only was I there for that meeting with the Finance Committee, I was meeting the Public Investments Committee as well a week ago or so on audit. Yeah, so it is not about my own interest. He's also said on the record that I know he doesn't live in those houses. I don't know where you live. I'm not sure enough. I don't know whether you live there or not. So just for the record. Chairman, I've been a chair of committees for 10 years. In the National Assembly, I chaired the first joint committee of both National Assembly and Senate on cohesion and equal opportunities. I've chaired the Committee of Labor. I've chaired the Committee of Security. The place of the Senate of Parliament is very well known to me. You are the representatives of the people, and I take it very seriously. Chairman, it happens that there could be scheduling issues, and that's why I've apologized and paid, and not just to the committee, to these people, who I respect very much. They're the people who elected me to be senator, they're the people who elected me to be governor, and I will always be available for them. And so I think we can... If there's anything further on that, Chair, I'll be happy to answer. if you want any more evidence of that. But I've really pushed for, in fact, if you look at the Hansard, for enhancement, not just of fines, but of the powers of Senate. I don't know whether you should arrest people, but I think I have encouraged even my colleagues to cooperate with the Senate, with the National Assembly, with Parliament. I remember the former president, Mwai Kibaki. I remember when I used to work in the Treasury, when he'd call a minister to State House and the minister says, no, I've been called to the Parliament. He tells them, please run there first and deal with Parliament, because Parliament represents the sovereignty of the people. So let it go on record that I do recognize and respect the place of Parliament as representative of the people, and that is why I've come with everyone who is required on this matter. Though it's not the procedure, Chair, and this is maybe off the record, I think sometimes proper engagement, sometimes even back channeling works. You know, of course, there's official ways of doing it. But where I found what Senator Wambu is saying, the examples he gave, the reason we're able to succeed on that is what we were able also to do, you know, just directly. But I'm very happy to come every time you call me, and I profusely and deeply apologize to the people of Nairobi for not having come on those two or so instances.
Okay. So that I can put that this section of discussion to rest, since you have paid the fine and you're here, but it's also good to understand that this matter of these estates in Nairobi came to this committee on 6th June.
Public participation is sacrosanct.
But the contractors are on the ground in some estates.
There's no contractor on any ground, Chair. Which estate?
Point of order, Chair.
Yes.
If you proceed like that, we will not do justice to the residents of these estates.
Okay.
I propose that you go back to the manner in which we had agreed to proceed, because even this question of MOUs, I'm hearing it for the first time. And because Parliament is a house of record, I would want that you insist, Chair, if the governor makes reference to anything, let him table documentation, because we are not just going to sit here and hear stories of cabinet resolutions. You should be able to share with us. Yes. Cabinet resolutions are reduced to writing. Because even for me as a senator of Nairobi, I'm hearing this for the first time. Yesterday, there was a scheduled groundbreaking in Woodley. How do you do groundbreaking without having signed these MOUs with the residents? The residents are hearing about the MOUs for the first time.
Was there groundbreaking that took place?
It was scheduled. I was invited to. I have an invitation for a groundbreaking. Why were you writing to me if there was no groundbreaking?
There was no groundbreaking. Chair, we wanted to do that, but I said, let me take the residents through myself. That is why it happened, Chair. That's why we took them through that process. Urban renewal has been happening. It is not new. If you go to Ngara, if you go to Jivanji, if you go to Pangani, we're doing 3 estates that are almost being completed, Chair. Ziwani.
On the issue of number 2, the agreement between the government of Kenya and the government of Israel.
Sure. Do we have Ngatia? I wanted to know if he has gotten the email.
Yeah, I'm going there because we are on number 2. That about emails is number 3.
Parliament would only have a title if Parliament goes to ask for the ministry to produce it, if it needs a title. But normally, government scale would just assign this is government land, it is GL. It is not an LR. When you get into these operations, for instance, to do housing or to do a market, etc., then you process through the NLC to actually get that title deed for that land. So in terms of the government records, it shows the ownership of these estates, you know. And I'll give another example. I've given schools title deeds last year. Everybody knew this school title is here, or this land is for the school. For us to be able to produce it, then we start a process to show what was an allocation to the county or to either arm of government for that title then to be produced. So, Chair, these records exist with the ministry in terms of the ownership.
So, Governor, just clarify for me, because
I would suggest you go through the chair once you.
Yes, Chairman.
Oh, yes.
Chairman, just let's get some clarity.
Yeah.
Because our letter was specific. As those titles, I am sure I'm not the only one who had. Does the county government of Nairobi have the titles for Ofafa Jericho, Jericho Lumumba, Ofafa Maringo, and Maringo or not? It's just something that I need clarification on.
Moebas, let me first of all say then national government or the county government historically never got titles until the evolution of land grabbing came in. If you look at so many survey plans, you will find just a block of land and with letters GL, that is government land. If you look at the very old ones, you will see they have the colony, CL.
Chair, a point of order.
In essence,
a point of order, Chair.
Yes, Senator.
Chair, if we proceed this way, we'll not get anywhere. And the question is very simple and specific. Does the county government, we have them or we don't have them? These are the story of GL and we'll go around circles.
Yeah, I agree with you. We need that answer directly.
Estate titles, that one I can say, but the land belongs to the county. It's well known. If you go to Moja today, sir, the land belongs to the county, but now we are issuing titles to the private owners.
Okay.
So, Chair,
got you.
Chair, let me just ask him a question. This response that you...
We have been getting public land titled, and as we sit here, we have more than 300 titles being processed in the ministry, including schools, including these estates. Yes.
Forget the schools.
Please. Yes.
Through the chair, kindly, and before you give your intervention, you say you have no titles, Governor. That's one we are in agreement.
Yes.
You do not have the titles.
They're in the process.
But if you look at your submission, number 9, to explain the circumstances under which a contractor was given approval for redevelopment of New Pumwani, California estate, and then demolished flat C5 on 27 May at 2 a.m. when the people are sleeping, you say flat C5 is a private property and had an approval to redevelop. You don't have the title, but to call upon anybody who has such an agreement, even the tenants, and we're also going to write to the government of Israel as a committee, so that we can even invite the ambassador here. But that one, so that we can get to understand if there was any agreement and what the agreement entails, because we cannot allege and we cannot just pass it as just a matter of communication, a matter of statement. So I think we are going to put that one down. On the issue number 3, this is why we are having a problem with emails. A copy of volume 1, 2, and 3 of the report of Urban Renewal Plan for Eastlands. You're saying you have sent the email, and Charles is here. Have you received the email? And is that email they're saying the right one? Maybe they're making a mistake.
Chair, up to now I've not received.
The county of Nairobi, no bundles or what?
Yeah. Can I send it to you directly?
Yeah?
Can I forward to you on WhatsApp?
Yes, forward. But mostly I wanted to see that email.
Yeah. Chair,
that email,
Chair,
because
Chair,
we need to hold you to account on that July when you sent that email.
Chair,
That will be produced.
Yes.
Chair, the email that you need is not the one that you get now. Because when you get it now, what will you even do with it?
Yeah.
We want to confirm
Whether.
whether the email was sent when they said they sent.
Yes.
The only way of confirming that is for them to resend the email that was sent in July.
Yes.
If it is resent, it will show you that this has been sent a second time. It was initially sent on the 20th of July. That's what you need.
You know, someone can even make that up. It is very easy. You can quote, change the date. Chair, we sent the responses. We have no reason not to send.
Are you
those
suggesting
responses.
that's what you're going to do?
I'm saying it can be done. We have no reason not to send those responses. I have sent it to you. Chair, those reports are public documents.
Yes, but you know the procedure.
We sent them. You asked us to send on email, we sent on email.
The procedure is that the clerk receives them. The clerk prepares the document as he has prepared the files that we have. It's public document so that even the people of these affected estates can have a copy and also help us in scrutinizing the documents. So it's not a matter of just receiving.
Chair, if you receive the document, it's on PDF. You can search for the word Israel. You will not find it. There's volume 1, volume 2.
So where are the document?
In your WhatsApp.
Just now?
Yes. We emailed it when you asked for. If your email server is not working, Chair, you can't blame the county government.
No, I'm just saying the procedure. We have to look at the procedure of how we receive. How we receive these documents. You know, you don't want to water it down as a matter of I have it, you have it, I get it, you get it. It's a matter of the procedure, how we get these documents and how we process them.
Okay, Chair.
Chair, I really feel like I am getting, my blood is beginning to boil, and maybe I might have to recuse myself from these proceedings because of the casual nature with which the concerns of the residents of these estates are being treated. We are being now taught how to search for items on PDF documents, and yet the responsibility on the county government to provide these documents. In fact, for me, Chair, I would now direct that they provide to us physical copies of those documents for us to be able to go through them. And in fact, as I said, maybe some senators just want to receive documents on their WhatsApp or on their emails for purposes of ticking a box that documents were submitted. But I intend to read through those documents to find out this allegation that was being made by the residents. I'll sit with them. They'll show me where it is. I don't need to search it. Because these residents have actually engaged with this issue for years. People are afraid they're going to lose their homes. I haven't. You have minutes for Woodley.
Senator Sifuna.
You have minutes for those participations with my signature on it.
You showed
the
up.
chair. Allow the governor to give his submission.
Chair, the processes within the law have all been followed. But there is no abundance, or you can never meet the people too much. The people of Woodley themselves who came yesterday, and now who are very high, I hope they're here, actually. I hope the leadership of Woodley is here. Will tell you that they were very, very happy that we went over and beyond the steps within the law. We've seen projects all across the country, people's houses being demolished, people being moved. We're not doing that in Nairobi. We're carrying the people along. Yes, it is county land. Yes, the houses are for them. Yes, they will get houses. But in the abundance of, not even of caution, but going beyond the basic requirement. The requirements which have all been met, including through appropriation in the assembly, procurement processes, public participation. We will still do it again and again. In fact, I think the only one that had an issue was Jericho, where when there was participation, there was a bit of disruption during that participation. But it's happened in all of these estates. It has happened. I have no problem meeting them again. We will do that, Chair. These are my people. These are the people who put us in office. We will do it again. What is important is this. These residents of Nairobi, they want houses. They want decent living. If you look at the state of many of these houses, they are deplorable, Chair. We've done improvements in many. If you go to Huruma, we've painted the houses, we've done improvements in Kariobangi South, but the urban redevelopment gives them an opportunity to get a house and own it, Chair. I don't think any county is offering what we're offering the people of Nairobi. That by virtue of having stayed in our council houses, you will own a house and pay service charge. I don't know, Chair. That is what we've passed. We've gone through our processes in the county, the processes in the law. There's no disputed land Senator Ombo was referring to, and there's no dispute in court. I have not seen any dispute. There are questions about an agreement. I have never seen. The county says there is no such agreement. You've asked for urban renewal plans. We sent them in July. We have resent them today. Chair, what would you like us to do further?
As we conclude all the way to number 9, so that we would want to hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
We would really want to hear what you're saying.
Yes.
First of all, let's find out, because the process
to get into the JV, you have to get the special purpose vehicle. In 3 months, there's nothing that's going to happen. But that statement, is a bit dangerous because, we have contractual obligations. If you look at the Public Procurement and Disposal Act, there are still processes that have to continue and have timelines. So, Chair, the assurance we give is no one is going to be removed from the house. No construction will start. It was not going to start in any case, as we speak, until we have resolved these issues. But the processes must go on. They're contractual issues. Chair, we can get litigation. We've already awarded contracts. We're going to cost the people of Nairobi more money in compensation. So within that time, Chair, you have my
Governor,
assurance.
because I don't want us to go back to this discussion, me and you are saying the same thing.
Yeah, so when you say stop construction in a blanket way as chair.
What I'm trying to say is there will be no evictions.
Of course.
The people will not be removed. The contractor will not start. Groundbreaking should also stop until you finish with the people. You're saying 3 months. I was giving you.
We'll never finish with the people. The people are even part of the project implementation committees. But I am happy with that, saying there's no eviction, there's no one who's going to be moved from the houses within that time. That was never the plan, Chair.
Chair, there's a document that I think you should also include in that list of the documents that you've asked for. There will be need for this committee to be provided with evidence of the public participation exercises.
Yeah,
the minutes of those exercises and resolutions.
Yeah, from what I agree. You can provide that evidence of public participation, and as you do that, Governor, I was.
Let us know how the county has been run before, and the city council, and the manual, and whatnot. So whatever we have available within our records, we put together in form of statements.
Submit them within 14 days, and then we will invite you for the next meeting falling within that next week after the 14 days.
So I take it that we're in agreement. There's no need for the 30 days. Whatever we get in terms of state or fees and receipts, we'll just put that together within the 14 days.
If you can find it before, even this issue, I'm saying 14 days. If you're able to receive it you are able to compile it within a day, provide it.
Very well.
So that members can go through them, and then we can call you for another engagement.
Thank you, Chair.
So that we can put this matter to a close.
Chair, I would also appreciate if you also engage the government of Israel to ask for an agreement. I would love to see any agreement that would have existed. We're being very honest from our side.
We will do that.
When I was senator, I was looking for that agreement as well. I've looked for it for 5 years when I was senator. Okay. And I've looked for it for 1.5 years as governor. I have not found it. I will not find it in 14 days. Please engage with them as well on our behalf.
That one we assure you we will. And we say this committee, of course, is very forthright when it comes to representing the people, and when it comes to the petitions. As much as we support clean and dignified housing, we are going to follow the due processes of the law, and any support you would require from this committee, like that issue of the Israel government, we are going to invite to write to the Israel government through the ambassador.
Chair, I want to assure the residents of Nairobi that what we're doing is truly for their best interest. We'll walk along with them, and we'll walk along with the committee, and it's very exciting for us that we shall turn our tenants into homeowners. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Governor.